Hey everyone, so today I'm doing a video on 10 things you shouldn't take to uni. About a year ago now I did 10 things that you should. So I thought it'd be quite interesting to maybe do like 10 things I wouldn't advise taking. Obviously this is going to differ for every uni because different unis are going to provide different things and they're going to have different rules. But I think this is just kind of like a general list of things I wouldn't really recommend bringing. It's actually much harder to think of things you shouldn't bring than things that you should bring. But yeah, I just thought of 10 things that I either brought and regretted or I didn't bring and I was happy that I didn't bring. Okay, so the first thing is kitchen equipment. So rather than like your spatulas and your pots and pans, things like toasters and kettles. My uni provided kettles, but it didn't provide toasters. Obviously that's going to be different for every uni. Some will provide both, some will provide neither. But I would just not recommend bringing them, and then when you're there you can see what you've got and then work out with your flatmates what you want to get, because it's just much easier. Otherwise you're going to end up with 10 toasters or 10 kettles and you just don't need that. So if you just all chip in when you're there to get a toaster and to get a kettle if you don't have them, I think it's just a lot easier and it saves you lugging up a kettle and a toaster that you might not even use to uni. So I would just say wait till you get there, see what the uni provides, but also see like what your flatmates have, because someone might bring one and it saves you having to bring one yourself. So things like that I would definitely just wait to get. Next thing is sort of kitchen related, more food related, but it's a mini fridge. I don't know anyone that actually brought a mini fridge to uni, but I know it was something that I definitely thought about. Just because the idea of having a fridge in your room, you know, that's like been my dream since I was about 12, you know, looking through the Argos catalogue, finding a mini fridge. And it just seems like such an ideal, like, oh, I'll just have a mini fridge in my room, I can just eat what I want when I want, I won't have to share a fridge with people I don't know. It's just not practical. One thing, a lot of unis don't allow it. I'm pretty sure Exeter doesn't. I'm not certain on that, but I don't think it does. And the other thing is just you don't need one. You've got enough room in the fridge. If you can't fit it all in the fridge, you've probably overbought for one person. Yeah, and the kitchen's always going to be near to you. It's like when you're in a house, you're always going to be kind of near the kitchen. I feel like you're even closer to the kitchen on halls because usually it's like one floor, so you don't have to go down or up any stairs to get to the kitchen. And yeah, it's just much easier. Plus you don't know how much room you're going to have in your bedroom to have a mini fridge anyway. So I guess if you get to uni and you find that the one thing you're lacking is a mini fridge and you would be much happier with one, you can get one then, but I definitely wouldn't recommend bringing one. Also, while we're talking about kitchen stuff, fancy glasses, just don't bother bringing them. They're going to get broken or lost, or, you know, you're just not going to need them. Pre-drinks and stuff, most people pre-drink with a mug because it's easier. You know, like you don't need to bring wine glasses and shampoo. You don't need to bring wine glasses and like champagne flutes and like 15 different gin glasses and whatever. Yeah, it can be nice to have, but at the end of the day, it's 1 year that you're in halls and you're not gonna miss going without. The next thing I've got is an iron and an ironing board. I did not iron once while I was at uni. I still haven't ironed. I think I've ironed one top in the past year, which is awful, but it's time consuming and most clothes don't need ironing. I don't really wear shirts and things where you have to look very professional and everything has to be very neat. So if you were maybe doing a course where you had to dress super smart, or if you were doing something that required a uniform, maybe then you might need an iron a little bit more. But I just found I did not need it. Our uni actually gave us an iron and an ironing board, so definitely check that as well. But none of us used it. We had one guy in our flat who would always iron his shirts and everything, which was good on him, but we didn't. There was no point. When you get things out of the dryer anyway, it seems to be pretty crease free, so like life hack, just make sure you fold it straight after you get it out of the dryer and it will stay nice and pristine and you won't need to iron, and you can save your time and money buying an iron and energy trying to fit a big ironing board into a car. On the topic of cars, I would say I wouldn't recommend bringing a car for the first year of uni. I didn't actually know anyone that had a car, I don't think. I can't drive, so I wouldn't bring a car anyway, but none of my friends who can drive brought theirs. Obviously this is going to differ for whatever uni you're at. Some unis you might be really, really far away from campus and need a way to get in. But I think for the most part in first year, if you're in halls, you're probably going to be quite central. And if you're not, there's probably transport that's like arranged to get into campus, so you wouldn't need to take a car anyway. I think there's only a few times I would have actually wanted a car last year, say to go to the supermarket or something, but we lived without, and it's quite nice having to walk places and you get to see more of the city. I think if you bring a car, you'll probably be abused for lifts and trips places and being picked up, and if people are feeling lazy, they're going to be like, oh, give me a lift to campus, and I just wouldn't want to deal with that. So I would say for first year at least, I wouldn't really bother bringing one. My next item is anything that you're not allowed, which sounds so self-explanatory and shouldn't even be on this list. But basically by this I mean just check on your uni's website, because for example we couldn't have fairy lights that plugged into the wall, so you don't want to waste your money buying those type of fairy lights if you can't have them, and it'll be easier just to get battery ones. So yeah, just don't bother buying stuff that you're then not going to be allowed anyway. The next thing is excessive amounts of stationery. I'm so guilty of when it's like a new year, new school year, and you want to go out and buy like 50 different pens and pencils and books and rulers and rubbers and everything, and like 20 different highlighters and post-it notes. And I came to uni literally with like a box this size of stationery, which is just unnecessary. You're going to use it, but you probably just don't need to bring that much with you to start with, especially because in Freshers Week you get given a bunch of pens and stuff from companies, and you kind of like build up your stationery as you go along. Also, in terms of excessive amounts of stuff, don't bring too many clothes. I think it's really easy just to pack up your whole life and you're like, woo, I'm moving out, I'm going to uni, and just bringing everything, even clothes you've not worn in the past year because you think, okay, there might be one time that I'm going to wear it. Just don't bother. You've only got so much space, like wardrobe space and cupboard space, to actually put clothes. And if you know you're not going to wear stuff, just don't bother. Like I ended up wearing the same outfit pretty much all the time anyway. And also the more clothes you have, the more washing you end up doing, and the lazier you get with washing, because you can go for a way longer time without washing your clothes, and all of a sudden you have like huge bags full that you have to like lug down to the washing room. Like, it's just not worth it. I don't think you don't need that many clothes, especially if you're like going home for Christmas and Easter and summer and things like that, because you can take home the bits that you're not wearing like as you go. So you can leave your summer clothes at home when you first move into uni, and then when you go back for Easter you can take back all your winter clothes that you're not going to need anymore and then bring back your summer clothes. So that's kind of how I did it, and it also meant that it was really handy to have some clothes left at home, because it meant I didn't have to pack that much when I was coming back each time, because I knew I had some stuff here anyway, so I didn't need to bring everything back with me each time, which is definitely helpful. The next thing I wouldn't really recommend getting for uni are books, and obviously this is going to differ again for every course and for every uni. Most unis and most courses will have like a reading list, and they'll say, oh, you need to get these. But I would wait until you get to uni. Often older years sell their books for way cheaper. Also you can get them out of the library for free. I didn't end up buying a single book this year or last year. I got all of mine from the library for free, and it saves you so much money. Obviously this is going to be different for courses like English. I have one friend that does English and she had to buy a bunch of books because you need them to read them. And so maybe courses like English you might need to buy a few books, but I would wait until you get to uni and then see other people in your course and see what they're doing and work out what books you're going to get then. The final item on my list is a TV. I put this because mostly it will just be a hassle, and it's like a little bit not antisocial, but you don't really need it. You find like you don't really have time to sit down and watch a bunch of TV. It means you'd have to sort out a TV license and things like that. And most people have Netflix and everything like that on their laptop, so you can watch stuff on there. It's not a big deal. And a TV, just, you don't know if you're going to have room for it, you don't know where you're going to put it, you don't know if you're going to be allowed it or how the license and stuff works, and I just think it's a bit of a hassle for first year. So that's all the things I wouldn't really recommend bringing to uni. Apologies if I look ridiculously hot in this video. England is having a heat wave at the moment and I'm slowly melting, as I had to turn off like all my fans and shut my windows so it wouldn't be super noisy while filming this. So yeah, I'm gonna go have a cold shower and just like cool off because England's just too hot at the moment. But thanks for watching, and if you have any other sort of uni videos you want me to film, please let me know in the comments below.